coming out double. At the top of our screen, it says Preventative Health Care, Dr. Lem McCormick. So maybe it's too late to edit that. I don't know, but just an FYI. So if you can help with the double echoing because you are echoing, when you finish rectifying that, we can proceed. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Dr. Benny, I know this is the last day of, I should be wearing my red, but I didn't have enough time to change into red when I came in. So
I knew you were going to say something, so that's why I wore this, even though. Yeah.
Because from February 1st, this is the lip love year.
Host started recording.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings to each and every one of us. Welcome to Deep Dive. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024, and we are here yet on another day to enjoy this lovely webinar. And we are starting with a wonderful signature tune by one of our global ambassadors in the name of Lerato Shadare, In It to Win It. Let us watch the video as Dr. Derek is going to share with us, and it tells us where we are and what's going on with our unpassive journey. Thank you very much, Dr. Derek, for giving us a platform, and I'm passing it back to you so we can start with our signature tune.
We are Your next stop is Impassive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right. I don't know if I was the only one, if you all had the sound, but I didn't get the sound until now.
I didn't either.
But the most important
I
thing,
didn't get no sound.
thank you, Queen JW. The most important thing is the images that I saw reflected in it to win it, because that's where we are. We are in it to win it, and we have been winning it from all the images of where we are in January up to where we are right now, end of February, as we celebrate the end of this month of loving one another as Unpassivians. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for the pains that you take in putting these images together to reflect everything that Unpassive has been through up to this period where we are. So with that, I will say we're moving on to the next segment of the webinar, which is an outstanding part of the webinar as well. Deep Dive has so much to share, and we have a lot of talent. And from all of us who are in here, I do not see any new name. All the names that have signed in know who Queen JW is. She is the one who is going to talk to us about the mindset today. And her topic is the optimal health. And as you can see from the background, Dr. Derek has all the right tools. And what do I mean by the right tools? The sort of healthy things that you should live by and go by. And who is Queen JW? She is our wonderful inspirational speaker who talks to us on things that will help us with our mindset, because our CEO has promised us the physical, and Queen JW is going to share with us the mental. And as much as she is the inspirational speaker for the day, she's also one of us, a global ambassador, a mom, a grandmom, and she has a lot to share that we have to get a pen and paper and make notes, so that when she speaks, we make a mental note and written notes of what she's sharing with us, because it's going to help us not just for now, but in the future, not just for ourselves, but generations to come and our neighbors and friends. Because the topic she has today, Lord, tips to optimal health, it affects each and every one of us. This is not a topic that should be undermined. This is not an inspirational speech that should be underestimated, because it's loaded with love. And we are not paying her for her time, for her research, and for her knowledge. Let us welcome with open arms and open hearts to receive what Queen JW has to share with us about our health. Queen JW, thank you for being with us. And this is an outstanding topic that you picked for the day, tips to optimal health. The microphone is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm not sure, maybe I'm
And you're
too
looking
large.
so gorgeous today, girl. Oh, Lord, you're looking good.
Okay. I turn it the other way. I hope that's the right way. Let's see how it looks. No, it's the this way.
No, back.
Do it the other way?
No, put it in landscape. You have it on
But I
portrait.
think
Put it on landscape, please.
I did.
There you
But
are.
it look,
There you
I
go.
looks, I don't see myself too much, but I guess everybody else can see
No,
me.
we've seen you. You look elegant.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Queen Debbie, the host with the most. Thank you for that amazing introduction of little old me, JW. I want to thank Dr. Derek most of all for allowing us to speak on this platform. And I just want to thank all the leaders for their continuous or consistency in showing up and, impacting us in all areas of our lives, not only in our passive, but in our daily life, our daily journey of this, what they call life. But life is important, very important. And it only can be important if we take care of our health. Because without health, like they always say, it ain't no wealth. If we're not healthy, we can't make healthy choices. We can't do anything without having clarity, energy. And all these things come from what we put in our mouths. And so today, I will be talking about tips in obtaining optimal health, because that's what all of us wants. We want to be healthy. We don't want to be sick. And we don't want to be the one that causing the sickness. Because if you look at it, we are the one when we get diabetes, when we get hypertension, all those diseases, we cause it on ourselves. And that's where we have to take ownership and say, you know what? I did this, and now it's time for me to correct it. And that will lead you to optimal health. Believe it or not, I'm living proof. So we're going to start, why optimal health? Why is it necessary? Well, we're going to go back and talk about, big pharma, because the USA, or the America, is the leading country when it comes to pharmaceutical medication. And why I say that? Because the US generates 46% of medication, of meds, and 1.3 million, how we go? 13.1 million people, that's 66% adults, use prescription drugs. Isn't that something? The majority of the people of America is sick and is on medication, not one, not two, and not even three. I think that is so overwhelming for a system, for our bodies, and for our minds. So, and then also 4.38 billion retail prescriptions are filled every day in the year of 2019. And it increased in 2022 to 4.76 billion. And that's why America is deemed the highest country when it comes to prescriptions. But you want to turn that around. We don't want to end up on prescriptions, taking medication. And sometimes I talked to a friend, he said, I think he was had hypertension, and he said the doctor told him he will have to take the medication for the rest of his life. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Why it says a lie from the pit of hell? Because anything you do to yourself, you have the opportunity to turn it around. But you need to know how you go about turning it around. And it all starts with God's food. And he names some of them in Genesis. He talks about the fruits and the vegetables, the fish, the chicken. He talks about it. He talks about what we should not eat and what we should eat. But you know what? We lead on our own understanding. And we went along with the masses. And now we're paying the price. People are suffering from heart disease, hypertension, all kind of chronic diseases that they feel that that's a death sentence. But it's not a death sentence. You can actually turn around. How many people, you heard Dr. T. Ford, who is here today because and overcame or overcome 4th-stage cancer. That's tell you it can. And what she said, I remember she said, I changed my diet. And it all starts right there. The first thing we need to learn is that if you start to understand how your body works, then you are already on the road to optimal health. But if you don't understand how the body works, you will continue to destroy yourself. And you can't blame the government. You can't blame your doctor. You can't even blame the guy, the owner of the supermarket, for having bad food in there. It's up to us. We have to take ownership. So successful people, they take ownership. You just don't take ownership of unpassive or your dreams. Your health comes before anything else on this planet. I could tell you that, besides God. Let's don't leave him out. Because it says in Galatians 6:7, don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of God. You will always harvest what you plant. So what if we put in garbage in our body? That's what we're going to get. Garbage going to come out. But if you put the good stuff in your body, you're going to get good results. And you're going to be happy, and you're going to be energetic, and you're going to be disease-free. And that's what we're aiming. That's what optimal health is all about. Remember, most diseases are not from your mama or your father's side or your ancestors. No. The majority of diseases, we ourselves put it on ourselves. I could say that because I suffered with hypertension for years now. And I got offered the medication because I got off the medications many times because I didn't want to hurt myself. I needed to find out why I was getting hypertension. But no one ever told me. I think I hear people say, watch your salt intake. I wish it was that simple. Then I just need to stop taking in salt. But then you have sodium, which is a family of salt. Anyway, it is salt itself. And so we getting it in the canned goods that we picked up. Anything that is preserved have sodium also in it along with the toxins. So you know now that chronic disease is not hereditary, however you say that word. Okay? So you can overcome diabetes by exercising and eating the right foods. Watch your sugar intake. Okay, BP, blood pressure, you're not making good food choices. That was the reason I suffer with high blood pressure, because I wasn't making the right food choices, and I would just keep on eating. And don't talk about my sugar. Oh Lord, I love sweets. So that was my weakness there. And I think it started from a young child where we would go to the candy store and buy a whole lot of candy and just sit down and eat it because we didn't know better. And it says when you know better, you do better. But some of us still take a chance. We risk our own health by taking in junks and toxins that is going to devastate and devastate our whole system. So our cells, our health start at the cellular level. It doesn't start at the organ, it starts at the cellular level. That means it starts from the cell. So if you put the right food in, and your cell is made up of 19 vitamins, nutrients, and also, I think, 9 amino acids. So if you put all this good stuff into your cell, then you're not going to have a malfunction cell, because a malfunction cell leads to disease. It doesn't happen overnight like magic. No, it's years and years of making the bad food choices. That's where it comes from. It comes from making bad food choices. And we can't say, I wish I knew that before. No, wherever you at, that's where you start. Now, I got in this program January the 29th, I think it was. It's a 6-week program. And that's the stuff I'm sharing with you is the things I learned along in my journey of gaining optimal health. And let me tell you, it truly works. My blood pressure is down. As a matter of fact, I took it today, it was 126/74. I was getting readings like 180 over 100 and change. Sometimes I used to pray that I wake up the next morning. That's how serious it was. I bought CBC gummies. I bought Infinite CMOS. I tried those things. I didn't see no results. But when I joined this 6-week program, I'm in my 5th week now. And let me tell you, I have lost 10 pounds and my blood pressure is down from 180 over 110. Sometimes it was even getting high and I was like, oh my God, please let me wake up the next. I was concerned about my heart, getting a heart attack or getting a stroke. All these things was on my mind. And so tonight I'm telling you, eat God's food. So this is how the body works. It starts from your cell. It starts from the cell. From the cell, tissues are built. So if you don't have the right nutrients and the 19 vitamins that we need to make up that and amino acids, and we don't have those all in there in the food that we're putting in our bodies, then you know what happened to our cells. We'll have malfunctioning cells. And that's what's going to create havoc in our systems. And we have, I can't remember how much systems, we have so many. I'm going to name some of them anyway. So imperfect cells leads to imperfect self, human, organism, yourself, you, me, okay? So the cell tissue, and after you get cells, you build tissues, then organ systems, and then organism, which is the human organism. That's how we are made up. So the problem doesn't start from the organ. The problem starts from the cell. And so once you get that in your mind, then you will start choosing the right things for your body to strive. Because if you don't treat your body right, it cannot treat you right. And we need our body. Okay. 3 principles of optimal health. You have to eat the food God called food. You got to eat it as close to its original state as possible. When it say close to its original state as possible, that means as its raw state, not meat now, but your vegetables, your salads, your tomatoes. And it goes back to what Dr. Seaton said, eat things that is alive. We cannot continue to eat things that are dead, And you get your tomatoes, you get your mushrooms. You could even slice your sweet potato as thin as possible so you can chew it, It's not about drinking smoothies, but it's about eating the healthy God's food and chewing it. Because when you chew it, all those minerals and vitamins and nutrients is going to flow into the body and it's going to go to the areas, to the organs that it needs to support. And the last principle is eat vegetables and fruits in its raw state. Do not allow any food to become your God. And I remember chocolate. I love chocolate, but I knew to eat the dark chocolate. But that wasn't a good excuse enough because some of them were filled with sugar. Even though I was reading the label, they were full of sugar. So don't allow sugar, chocolate, and chips, and all these other stuff that we eat, donuts. Don't let them become your God. Because in the word say, you can't have no other God besides your Heavenly Father. But when you choose to continuously eat chocolate and then potato chips and Doritos and all those things that are toxic, then you are doing it. We are doing it to ourselves. Remember, it's a lifestyle. It's just not for today. It is forever. And if you want to live a healthy, disease-free, pain-free life, then you have to decide if you want optimal health or not. And when you put your plate before you, ask yourself, does it pass the Adam and Eve test? That means it has to be acceptable to God. You know, it has to be looking vibrant and delicious and yummy, green, and all the greens and the fresh tomatoes and the mushrooms, and you could add even little grapes or whatever you want to put in it, and make your own dressing. You don't have to go to the supermarket. Yesterday I said, oh boy, I probably need some dressing, and let me tell you, I read all the labels and not one pass, not one even pass. Okay, and then I had to decide, well, you know what, Jackie, go get some chickpea hummus. And I got some hummus and I ate that with my salad. And it was delicious because I couldn't find nothing that was healthy. And you're going to have those same challenges when you go into the supermarket. Now, last week we talked about those toxins, and this might mean that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone and a new life has begun. And that's in 2 Corinthians 5:17. That means we got to throw out the old stuff. You got to go in your pantry and say, you know what? Let me see what is good here in my pantry. And if it's not good, throw it out. I heard a lady say, oh, I don't like to waste. That means you're going to eat all the toxic, and when it's gone, then you're going to get the new. Do you know you are destroying your cell at the same time and creating more malfunction cells? Remember, these cells rejuvenate and create daily, by seconds, by minutes. So if something, I know sometimes we love something so bad and we don't want to give it up. But let me tell you, you gotta ask yourself, am I worth it? I know I am worth it. I cherish my life more than ever today than yesterday. When I see people dropping, everybody is dying here left and right. I say, you know what? I don't want to go out like that, God. And that's why I use that phrase. I don't want to go home. I want to be called home. I want God to say, Jackie, time is up. I don't want to make my own date. I don't want to send myself home. I don't want to go out that way. And I don't want that for none of my brothers and sisters here and on passive either. And that's why I share those things with you, because it's about your health at the end of the day. And God has spoken to us already. For those who do read the Bible, it's there. Sometimes we read and we don't pay attention. And then you go back, you say, oh my God, that was there all the time? Yes, it was. But now we need to pay more attention than ever, because times are not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And the food chain is going to get even more dangerous than before. Okay? Because GMOs cannot be replaced. So they're going to come up with another system. And it's not going to be health-wise, because they didn't start it that way, and it's definitely not going to end that way. The FDA don't care about us. CDC don't care about us. The WHO Foundation, none of them care about us. They care about themselves. So while we're eating the junk, they're not eating the junk because they know it's junk. But we got to say, we got to cleanse our mind. Clean our mind, get a new mindset. And that's what this webinar is about, the mindset. Changing your mindset. Just don't come to listen to JW speak, but go research, go find out, is what this girl's saying is true? But it is true. We talk about them toxins because them toxins are going to be there. And if you want a new you, you got to throw out the old you. And you got to go in your pantry and change things around. You know some of them, we talk about them already. Artificial colors. They're in your grits. They're in so many things that you eat. They put it in the M&Ms. They put it in the Skittles. Some country has banned artificial colors. And you know them, yellow 40. They even blue 1. Even pickles. Pickles are not green. You eat a cucumber all the time. Is the cucumber green? Because that's what pickles are made from. But they mix it with yellow 40 and blue 1. And you get this green thing about pickles. Come on. Stop damaging our own self. Take ownership. Let us be we should be our number one advocate when it comes to our health. Not the doctor, not the government, not the FDA. Because they're not going to help you when you're sick. So many people have fallen sick. Did you see any of the government agents come to your door to say how you're doing? And how can we help you? High fructose corn syrup, we already talked about that. You know, the artificial colors are linked to cancer. So stay away from them. The other day yesterday self, I was reading the dressing, and then I saw the caramel color that I talked to y'all about. And that was new to me because I was stuck on all the other toxins, but I didn't know about that one. But once I saw it, I said, that's no good. Down you go. So look out for artificial sweeteners. You know them, Splenda and all this stuff they tell diabetics to take equal and sweet and low and all those sodas, zero. There's sugar in there. I don't know how anyone could drink something that tastes so nasty. Because I had to take, people, zero. Because it's telling you no calories, you think there's no sugar in there? It's sugar in there. It's artificial, man-made sugar. It didn't come from the sugarcane field, for sure. So let's use common sense here. The next thing is that high fructose corn syrup. It's in everything, your ketchup, your barbecue sauce, your syrup that you use for your pancakes. It's in there. That means you have to look for the things that say no high fructose corn syrup. So I know some of the ketchups is transition there. Some of them is saying no high fructose and it's labeled on there. Some of them is not no label. That means go read. We have to become label readers. It might be time consuming, but that time can save you in the long run. Save you from going to your primary doctor every day. I see some people go to the doctor when I was in the medical field. Every day they're coming for what? To pick up more meds? That wouldn't help them at all. And look out for MSG. MSG, if it doesn't say no, if some of them does not say, if it's not listed no MSG, you better turn back there and read that label because it's in there. And MSG is in almost everything. So that's why you have to read your label. The nitrates and the nitrites, those are in all your deli cold cuts, processed meats, even turkey bacon. Don't get it twisted. Read the label. If it has ones that says no nitrates, those are the ones you can get. Okay. Lab created ingredients. You don't want nothing that was made in the lab. You're not a lab rat. We're not lab rats. And so we should not be eating things just like that. Eat from if you have a garden, eat from your garden. If you don't have a garden, go to a farmer's market. Deal with Whole Foods. It might be a little expensive, yes, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. You know, here in the Caribbean, we have a opportunity of getting things from Dominica, and you can't trust things from other countries because some of the U.S. have set up their plantation in these countries and have people working and put pesticides in the food. Even Mexico, you just got to be knowledgeable, and that's why our Heavenly Father talks about us not being knowledgeable, we perish, and that's the God honest truth. A lot of people has gone home immaturely because they didn't know how to take care of themselves. They didn't do no research. They just sat there like sitting ducks on a fence waiting to be popped off. No, God didn't make us that way. He didn't make this body to die. Then Jesus wouldn't have to come. Yahweh would not have to come. Jehovah would not have to come to save us from all this that we're going through. Natural flavors. Natural flavors can be anything. Do not, because the words say natural, do not go for it. It can be anything. It can be beaver juice. You hear me? Don't do it to yourself. Because it says, some of the labels say natural and artificial flavor. Isn't there something wrong there? The less ingredients and ingredients that you can understand and recognize, then you're good to go. But if it takes a paragraph, I always tell people it takes a paragraph or 2 paragraphs to make that, whatever you're putting in your body to taste good, leave it on the shelf. Leave it on the shelf. Because all we created, remember where it starts from the cellular, is malfunction cells, which leads to disease. You know, I got on this journey back in, I think it was 2007. And I got up one early morning and it was around 3 a.m. And it was on a TV, and this guy was going into people's homes and in the refrigerator and throwing all this crazy, taking all their food up, whipped cream and yogurts and all barbecue, all kind of things. They say, "Oh, I like that. I like that." No, don't throw it away. And that's how I learned about stuff caught in the wild. I used to eat Oscar Mayer, the big old pack with the turkey, the smoked ham, and that was my breakfast before I leave for work in the morning because I thought it was quick and easy. But God food is quicker and easier. You hear me? Quicker and easier. Because all you do is cut up some fruit and you take it to work and you eat that. You're good already. When you eat God food, you don't need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You might eat 1 meal a day. Because the food fills you up. Those fresh vegetables, they fill you up. Sometimes I can't even finish my salad, because I put everything in there. My avocado, my sweet peppers, mushrooms, anything that I can find to put in there, I put it in there. And I keep it simple. I keep it simple. Do not feed into it more than, sometimes we overthink things and that's where it becomes like, oh my God, this is too hard for me to do. Some people say it's too expensive and all that, but you got to remember, are you worth it? And do you want optimal health? And I know I do. So the MSG and all that stuff, look, stay away from the toxins. They're no good. Canola oil. Anytime I look and I read something that says canola oil in it, I leave it there. Because I know already that oil was no good years ago. So anything with canola oil mixed, sometimes the mayonnaise is mixed up with this and that. You could make your own mayonnaise if you want mayonnaise so bad. Just look on YouTube. It tells you everything. America favorites, Doritos. Let me tell you, I used to love ranch Doritos. But when I learned about the MSG and all the other nasty ingredients in it just to make that chip, I left it right there. Because you can make kale chips by just putting them in the oven and letting them dry out. And you can make your chips if you want it that bad. I eat my kale just raw. I put some dressing on it and I just eat it away. Anything that you can eat in the raw state, do so. If you do your vegetables, don't overcook them till they look like from green to yellow. You might as well drink the water, because that's where all your nutrients is, in the water, because then you're going to throw that off. And all the substance is right in there. And you're eating a dead, yucky looking broccoli. No. Steam your vegetable. That way water doesn't get in it. What happens when heat gets to anything, it robs it of its nutrients. And that's why we are deficient in nutrients. We don't know that we are. We don't know we are because when you go to the doctor, they don't check all that to see how many vitamins you got, the amino acids, and how is your hormones looking. If you ask them to check your hormones, they ask you if you're having a menstrual cycle, you know? So we have to take ownership. And if we don't, we're going to suffer the consequences. So you have to take, there's other alternatives to the bad foods. You could do grain-free chips. You could do Lay's potato chips. I think it's 3 ingredients in there if you like chips so much. Because most Oreos is another American favorite. It is yucky. It's full of artificial color. It have palm and canola oil in it. It's awful. Another thing, American favorite is Welch's. A lot of people like to give that to their children as a snack to take to school. Again, sugar, but it's also have artificial color because it has red 40 and blue 1 in it to give the colors, just like Skittles. But instead of giving that in the morning to, going to the supermarket and buying the toxins to give to your child, you have to say, you know what? Let me give them some fresh fruit. You could cut up, apples. You could cut up apples. Not everything sweet, okay? Because then you're just, people think you got to eat donuts and pies to get sugar. But you could get sugar just as much from fruits. So when you're doing your fruits, you got to make sure you don't put all bananas and banana, mango, all the sweet. That's just fulfilling a sweet tooth and also leading yourself, filling the body with excessive sugar. That's what you got to try to avoid. So you got to take an audit of your pantry. And when you do, you will be liberated and you will be inspired. So that's one way of learning what's in your pantry, That's and that will help you to change the life. But when you change, your family change, especially if you're the one going to the supermarket buying the food. You know what I mean? If you're going to the supermarket and buying the food, you're already in control of what you pick up and bring into your home. And the first thing you have to do is talk with your family. Sit down and say, I have not been doing the right by the food that we have been eating. And I want to make these changes so we can have a better health. You got to break the generational curse when it comes to our health, because it's a generational curse. Because they say, oh, my father died from diabetes, so most likely I have to be so careful. And yet we know all that, and yet we're still not careful. You know what I mean? He died from diabetes because a lot of people know they got diabetes and they still eat the wrong thing. They're not taking it serious. When they start to lose limbs and then they get depressed, and now they don't want to live anymore, and they're emotional now, and it just brings you completely down. You don't want to be in that shoe. That's not a nice shoe. The next one, toxin number 3, is breaking from sugar addiction. And let me tell you, the sugar is the main character, the main ingredient that is not healthy, that just causes devastating in our whole body. Our whole body. Let me see where this was. I don't know where I took it from, so I'm going to pass it. But sugar addiction, when we as individuals eat sugar, the brain produces a huge surge of dopamine. This is similar to what? What you think? It's similar to just like heroin and cocaine. A matter of fact, they said sugar was worse than both of them. So what you think we need to do? We got to cut out that sugar. And some of us might feel we don't do that much sugar. But yes, we do. If you want to believe it or not. Because the recommended amount of sugar for females is 6 teaspoons a day. Teaspoons a day. And 1 teaspoon equals 4.2 grams or say 5 grams of sugar. So do your calculation of your sugar intake. Through my journey through this 6-week program, I am so conscious now of my sugar intake. I don't do chocolate. If I eat 1 banana, I know not to go back and eat another banana. If I crave for a little sweet, I feel like I'm something I want, I probably will go in the fridge and get a cherry. But I'm not going to go and say, let me go buy some chocolate. It's the temptation might be there, but we have to stay in control. We got to remember we are worth it. That chocolate is not worth it. That chip is not worth it. And for men, it's 9 teaspoons a day. Okay? So that way you will have an idea and you can do the calculation by just knowing that 1 teaspoon equals 4.2 grams of sugar. Now, sugar is a mean devil, I will call it. It's a mean devil. And that's why in our Holy Bible, in the book says, there shall be no other God before me. And that's in Exodus 23. But we allow our belly to be the ruler. God is a ruler. We don't want sugar to rule us and have dominion over our immediate or our overall health. We don't want that. And sugar has that control over us. And that's why we have to be conscious of our sugar intake. Even when you buy stuff in the supermarket, look at the sugar. They have the nerve to tell you the regular sugar and the added sugar. To say it's 7 grams of sugar. Then they have the nerve to tell you, and the added 7 more grams makes it 14. And what it say you're supposed to have a day? A day. I used to take my agave and I make a large cup of tea. So I'm there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was killing myself. And now if I make my tea, it say 1 tablespoon of agave helps. That's it. I'm not doing anything more. I'm not even drinking that much tea anymore. So we have to take, sugar after every meal. I notice people, especially when you go to Golden Corral, you will see them after they eat, they go get the ice cream, they go get the jellies, they go get the pies. They're damaging, they're killing themselves, and they don't know one bit that they're doing so. And I say, oh my God, where do people find room for desserts after? But they have a sweet tooth, but a dangerous sweet tooth. Let me tell you, sugar reaps havoc, widespread destruction over our entire body. It starts even with your mouth. You get tooth decay and you get gum disease from sugar. So when people get in a bad accident and they die, or in a fire rather, they have to identify them by their teeth. But if all your teeth are decayed, how would they be able to identify you? So what God made to be indestructible, sugar is no match for it. So be careful on the sugar that you give to your children because you're damaging their lives or your family. Your heart. You think what sugar? You think sugar don't hurt our heart? Yes, it does. It hardens the arteries. It's not the cholesterol that we think that is part of blocking. That blocks the arteries, but sugar hardens the arteries. It's not the red meat. Not saying that red meat is good now, but I'm just letting you know that sugar is the demon. Okay? And when that happens, it damages the heart tissue also. So it's disruptive. The stomach, it disrupts the microbiome. It thrives off the gut health. Sugar is dangerous. Your pancreas, because the body is making excessive sugar, the pancreas goes into overdrive to secrete the insulin out of the same cells that we're trying to develop good cells. So it takes the glucose out of the bloodstream, and that's where diabetes occurs. It shuts down because it's overwork. The pancreas say, I'm tired, I can't do this no more. So just like you get tired, you don't think about the organs within our bodies. They get tired, we overwork them, and then they shut down. And here now, type 2 diabetes. And now that you're on insulin and metformin and all that, but it can be turned around. That's the good part. We got to stop. We got to watch what we put in our mouth. Even fertility. You know, some people, they can't make babies. It's because what you eat. Your high blood sugar interferes with fertility for men and women. But the doctors doesn't tell you, hey, what you're eating. They put some sperm in a cup, pea cup, and go and under the microscope and see how much sperm cells you have and so forth, and you need to do something to get it higher or whatever. But it's basically your high blood sugar is causing your infertility. Your brain. Remember, the brain, light up your brain. Your brain is light up. The sugar lights up your brain reward center with dopamine. Your skin. Sugar causes you to age. You get acne. You get wrinkles in the skin. You get rosé. Sugar is really a demon. Liver. You don't think it, sometimes you hear about that fatty liver. I think I talked about it a little. And what happened, the liver converts the surplus sugar into fat. That's what happens. And that's similar to overloading. It's similar to like when we drink alcohol, when they get cirrhosis of the liver. Well, this is a non-cirrhosis way of you getting it from the sugar that we intake, the excessive sugar that we intake. And the kidneys. Oh my God. So when the blood sugar is high, the kidneys spill the sugar over into your urine. And that can cause permanent damage. So you see how bad this sugar is, and more reason for us to take heed when it comes to sugar. We don't need all that sugar that we intake. Just remember, females is 9 or 6 and 9 for men. Teaspoons a day. And that right there will help you. I am not craving any sugar. I am so blessed that I'm not craving any sugar. I don't want any sugar. My fruits, my vegetables, that's enough sugar already for me. So I don't need all of those sugars. So the best fuel that we can put in our body is God's food. is God food. And I said before, the mindset of the successful is taking full ownership of our health. So when you give your body what it thrives for or what it needs, then we already is on our way to optimal health. And my diet before 2007, I wasn't eating, I can't say I wasn't eating bad. I have to say I was eating bad because I didn't know none of the stuff that I know now, you know? So before 2007, I ate bad, even though I thought I was eating good. But I was eating bad because I didn't know of the nitrates. I didn't know of the fructose corn syrup. I didn't know of MSG. I didn't know of it. But now I know better. And that's why I do better and I feel better. I'm going to look better. I'm being energized and I'm being disease free. And that's what I want for all of us. You know, it's only can be up from there. Whenever you make that decision to say, you know what, I do want optimal health, then you already on the road to recovery. You already going to turn, if you suffer from hypertension, you're going to turn that around. If you suffer from diabetes, you're going to get off one pill at a time. Some people take 3 and 4 pills for this one problem. Because one not working, they add another one, but they're not saying, let's take away the first one. They adding it on. And when you look, then they add insulin, just messing up our system completely. We have to take ownership, you know? It says if we do it to ourselves, we can undo it. And each and every one, whatever ailment, even if we don't have an ailment, we could start working to not even get nothing close to heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. I don't want any of those things. I already was suffering hypertension, and that was enough for me already. So just follow the foundation principles. You know, eat God's food. Don't let anything become your God. No chips, no soda. Do not let it become your God. Because that's not what God say, have no other God before him. So therefore, if chocolate or chips is your God, get rid of it. Because say, you know what, I already got a God. And don't let nothing get in your way of changing your life. You know, sometimes people say, well, I have to travel. I can't. Pack your stuff. You know, when I was traveling, I made my salad before I got on the plane. So when I get on the plane, I could be eating my salad, or sitting in the airport, I can eat my salad. You know, so the other foods don't like, oh, I have to go get this, because I go and read the labels. Even if I want to buy something in the airport, there's a label on everything that you purchase. Read it. If it doesn't fit your standards of the food that you chose to eat, God food that you choose to eat, then leave it on the shelf. It's not forcing you to buy it. It's not telling you that you have to. Don't let money again, you know, stand in the way. You go, because you're going to have the challenge when you go in the store. You're going to have to either pick the toxics against the organic. And I know some people say, you know, organic, you still got to read the labels, no matter if it's organic. You know, read your label, because some organic stuff or plant-based stuff that they make is full of sodium. It's best that you cook your stuff at home. Buy your stuff and prepare it wherever you go. Wherever I go, I take my salad with me if I'm traveling. Okay? So you got to cut out the trash. If you don't cut out the trash, you're gonna be trash. It's gonna be bad trash. And remember, we are worth it. Society is not on our side. So we must become our first advocate when it comes to our health. Okay? And I think that's basically it, because that's just some parts of obtaining optimal health. You know, I think I have 2 or 3 more parts to go, and I come back to you next Thursday with it. But let me tell you, eat God food, and it is a proven fact that it will change your life around, because I am a testimony of it. When I tried everything else, even the medication that they gave me, But you know what? I always read the medication they give me too. Read the label. If they didn't update you with what the side effects are, get on your computer, get on your phone. Let me see what this medication entails. If it said it costs this and it costs that, I say, you know something? I'm not taking it. I might be that 1%, you know? So I always very particular. I'm not saying don't take your medication. I'm saying you have to start working towards optimal health by eating God's food, and you will see the changes, and you can document them. You can take them to your physician and share them with your physician, and then you and the physician then will decide if they will take you off the medication if you are documenting your results and what you're doing. So and another recommendation, I recommend that everybody should have them. You don't have to have blood pressure to have a blood pressure cuff in your home machine or kit at your home. I think you should, because a lot of people suffering from hypertension and they're totally unaware. Or they might stop by Walgreens or CVS and put their arm in. I don't know if they take a lot of information there or whatever they do. But have that at home. Even a monitor, a sugar monitor. Get one at home and start pricking yourself. They got the ones that's not as painful, and you can look them up, and have one at home just to check, to be your own physician in a way. You know what I mean? Take ownership of your life. And I just wish everybody the best health, because that's what it's all about. That's these tips are towards optimal health. And I pray that each and every one of us will get there. So I thank you for your listening ear and enjoy the webinar. Back to you, Queen Debbie.
Wow, 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 and wow again, Queen JW. Queen JW. Tips to optimal health. And today it's abstain from sugar, everything that has to do with sweetener, abstain from it. Is that my understanding?
Yes, it is your understanding, Queen Debbie.
Wow. I grew up in a country called Cameroon.
Yes.
And the only sugar that we were exposed to growing up during my era was sugar cane,
yep,
carrots, bananas, and a lot of natural fruit. Some of them, I don't know the names in English, but they're all local fruit. I did not know of all these added things, sucrose, whatever you're talking about. So my brain is still in that old era where I grew up not having the exposure. So I still have not transitioned into the one of the syrups. So this will not for my age group. It will not be for me. It will be for those who were exposed to it growing up. I'll just give you a simple example. I didn't have exposure to ice cream and yogurt growing up. I was exposed to that living in America or the Western world.
Yep.
That being said, the children who are born in a couple of months, they start being introduced into hot candies and all of that. So it's already in their system. And it's called addiction. I wish.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Queen JW, I wish Dr. Lem were here tonight, because when she gets to Harvard Children's Hospital, she's going to be, for the next 12 months, it's addiction medicine. That's what she's specializing in. For all these things that somehow someone has brought it into the world, that our bodies get addicted to it just because they have to make money out of humans. Is that ethical or unethical? Why can't I eat my bananas without having
Yep.
any added on things to it? But on the other hand, growing up, I realized when we had a lot of plantains, that a bunch of plantains with over 100 single plantains gets ripe overnight, or when you bring it home from the farm, a couple of days it's ripe. Everyone has eaten and they've had their fill. What do you do with it? There's no way to preserve it. What I recall was seeing my parents and my grandparents, they'll boil it and put it out in the sun and banana leaves over it.
Oh.
They dry it
Oh.
and then put it in containers and keep put away. When you I need
Preserve it. Yeah.
just go there and you pick it and eat. But nowadays it's all coated with artificial colors, artificial. Anyway, the point what I wanted to say is that I am so thankful to you for your outstanding, exceptionally well made presentation today about all the sugars and added on things that we put on our bodies. On the other hand,
Yes, indeed.
I know it is difficult. JW, it's so difficult to eat raw food. I must say, I am the only, I may be the only one in my family who used to go to their farm, pick up my carrots, just brush the dust or the soil, eat it, pick up my garden egg, brush off whatever is on it with my hand, and I eat it. By the time, even
Yeah.
cassava sometime, I will eat it raw because you didn't have fire, it's raining and you're hungry, you need to eat something. Granules, I was
Yep.
so used to eating them raw. And the best and the tip, what we call the creme de la creme, is sweet potatoes.
Yep.
You pick it up, you just use your teeth and you eat it. By the time you get home, you're no longer hungry. Your sugar is there,
Raw.
all of those things. And if you have a sugar cane stem somewhere in the farm, you pick some of it, and that does it all. So yeah, I just saw something from Dr. Patience about sweet potatoes. So we have all these
Yep.
things that we ate growing up. What you just said, we should encourage our generation and
Yep.
our friends and families to live that healthy life. But it's very difficult
Yep.
because some people, the genetics do not allow them. They'll tell you it is an acquired taste. There's something called bitter leaf. We
Ooh.
never used to, you just rinse the dust of it, you add it to your plantain, your bananas, and you cook it and you eat it like that. It's bitter. We love it. It tastes like quinine.
Look at that.
We call it quinine, but it's
Oh.
not quinine. We call it quinine. You eat it and you're fine. But nowadays, they'll wash it, and all those nutrients are washed out of it. And then when you eat it, you no longer taste, it's no longer bitter. It defeats the whole purpose.
Wow.
So I went to my PCP, came home, and I told my daughter, I told Dr. Lema, I said, my PCP told me to eat bitter melon. So I bought bitter melon. She said, Mom, why don't you just stick with your natural bitter leaf? Because this is rubbish. And I was
Yeah.
laughing at her because the bitter melon has seeds in it. You said, the things that have the seeds inside, why are you going with that? Just stick with your bitter leaf. Bitter leaf is so healthy for those who know what it is. If not
Wow.
this, if you do not live in an area that has it, look it up. But let me not belabor this. JW, thank you so much. Thank you. I see Queen Violet's hand is up, and this topic is a very, very pregnant topic about optimal health for each and every global ambassador, because when it's time for us to start harvesting our apples, we want to eat those healthy apples. I didn't grow up with apples in my backyard, by the way. I did not know apples until I was old enough to see those round things, and I tasted it was sweeter than almost as sweet as bananas and my ripe plantains, as well as sugarcane and sweet potatoes. So apples was not something affordable. So for those who have that acquired taste from all the other fruits, this is a time for you to revisit all the color shade, not just for the fruit, but the vegetable that we eat, all the colors, the yellow, the red, and all that. Let's revisit that because our health is the wealth that we're looking forward to acquiring. So this is time
Yeah.
for questions and discussions as we appreciate Queen JW for her weekly presentation.
Thank you.
So those who are making notes, please, by all means, if you did not put your question in the chat, raise your hand. I see one is up already. Queen Sister Dr. Benny, I'm passing it back to you. And I want to thank each and every global ambassador who has joined us here. Those who are in the US, Canada, diaspora, global south. I see Queen Brother Nanga is here. Brother Kumaran is here. Sister Queen Jane Francis, Brother Vital, everyone who is here, please, you are welcome to contribute to the topic about optimal health as presented by by Queen JW. So it's time for discussions. Thank you so much. Dr. Benny, over to you. Brother Naga, you want to say something? I see your microphone is open. Are you in India or Nigeria, Brother Naga?
Thank you, Sister Devi. I'm in Nigeria now. Actually, I'm in Nigeria. Yes, I too have experience in health concept. Actually, I have done breathing exercise. Breathing exercise. So when we do the breathing exercise, internal organs is have a good strength to withstand our environment effects and all the anyone it will help, it will disturb our health, it will cure. I have experience with for 15 years. I have done this breathing exercise 1 hour morning, 1 hour evening. I couldn't take any tablets, allopathic tablets. Allopathic means English medicines. I couldn't take anything within that 3 years. So that experience I have. So physical exercise and breathing exercise properly do, then uh, we can run out of our bad health. Uh, I have a I have experience before 3 days before too much headache and sleepless. So I don't like to go duty on morning duty that way. So I have done an exercise, that physical exercise, hands, legs. We have to do properly. When we do the exercise, then we get a good strength. Then that day I went to duty. I don't have problem again. And also another thing I have experienced is sugar. We should not take more sugar. That is also affect our body. That is that is also help our good health. That is my experience. Thank you for giving opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Naga. Thank you so much. There was so much noise in your background. Queen JW and Dr. Benny, I just know I heard of sleep deprivation and sugar. So if you heard
I heard that
more than I did, I'm passing it back to Queen JW, and Dr. Benny. Thank you, Brother Naga. We appreciate you being with us this evening. Thank you.
You're welcome to the
Queen JW, did you understand what he said about sleep deprivation and sugar? It was
I heard
so
a little
windy,
bit
I
about
didn't
the
hear him
sugar.
very well.
I didn't hear him very well either.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Dr. Benny, did you? Okay. Thank you, Brother Naga. Unfortunately, because of the wind that was coming from your end, we missed out on what you were saying. So I'm going to call on Queen Violet because Queen Violet's hand was up. And after Queen Violet, we're going to go to Queen Rosanna and then the next person. Queen Violet, your hand has been up. So over to you, Queen Violet. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
And if you're
morning.
not
Good
speaking, please
afternoon.
just mute yourself. When it's your turn, you can unmute yourself. Queen Rosanna, please mute yourself. After Queen Violet, we're going to call everyone whose hand is raised. Queen Rosanna, you're coming up next after Queen Violet. Over to you, Queen Violet. Thank you.
Just want to let you know, the weather here is, the only word I can think of is stupid. In the morning, you wake up, it's like 13 degrees, and before you go in the afternoon, it's like minus 15. It's like, what? In one day? And or it's the other way around. Anyway, I'd like you to look up on YouTube a person named Glucose Goddess.
Glucose Goddess.
Yes. And what she does, she's a scientist. And what she has discovered is you can get rid of your diabetes just by what you eat and when you eat it. And the first thing in the morning, she has this thing about doing vinegar. I do apple cider vinegar, and so there's that one. And by the way, Rags apple cider vinegar has now been taken over by Bill Gates, and pardon?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bill Gates has acquired his got his hands on that one. So now it's made with glyphosate and all those other things. All the apples are sprayed, and he puts chemicals into the actual thing. We have a Costco up here. But Costco doesn't carry it anymore. They've gone to a different one. Anyway, yeah, you have apple cider vinegar first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and then she says in the morning you have to eat something tangy, like don't eat sweet stuff, like don't have cereal or stuff like that. You got to eat something that's got more oomph to it. And then after you eat, you go for a 10-minute walk. And she tells you all these things and she backs it up with science, how it affects your body. And I've been going nuts with the sugars. So my counts have been like astronomical. I'm surprised I'm still alive. And so what I'm going to do, because the last 3 or 4 nights, I have not had anything to eat at night, because I usually eat all night. And my sugar counts were really high in the morning. Excuse me. This morning it was 24. It was like, what? Anyway, so what I'm going to do, excuse me, is I'm going to go on a 3-day water fast so that all the sugar gets out of my system. And then go back to what this lady is um, advising. And you have to be really careful with doctors. Um, I, I, my endocrinologist, I told her about a natural way to do that. She actually laughed at me and said, "Just take your med." So you got to be careful with these doctors. They don't know. They aren't trained other than using meds, and it's sad. Anyway, enough. I could talk more, but that's enough. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Queen Violet. Thank you. Okay, I'm passing the microphone over to Dr. Benny, and Queen Rosanna was next after Queen Violet. Thank you, Dr. Benny, for all you do, and thank you so much for coming respectfully to represent our last day of the love month of February. I am so cold here, as I told you earlier, but Dr. Benny reminded me, yes, she knew that I was going to remind her about the family love month of February. And today is what? The leap year, right?
Yes.
So the webinar for today, you should come up with a name. Maybe Dr. Derek already has one. So you have so many hands up, Dr. Benny, I'll shut my mouth.
Sure. We have Brother Joseph.
That was up before.
Brother Joseph, could you please proceed with your comments or your question?
Dr. Benny.
Yes.
Queen Rosanna's hand was up for a while before Brother Joseph and Brother Vital.
Okay, thank you. Queen Rosanna, are you available, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, each and every one. We're here again. And Queen Jacqueline, you did it again. I just want you to just keep reinforcing these things because people don't really obey. You know, we have to keep hearing it every day to do that. I work with Medicare and I enroll patients with Medicare. And then I tell you what happened. We tell them some of them have so many medication. Oh my goodness. The system want to break when we're putting them in there. So we tell them you're going to eat your food now like you're eating medicine, or you're going to be eating your medicine later as you're eating food. Okay, so what do you choose to do? Try to, we know that the good things doesn't taste good, but that is what is good for you. So go ahead and do the right thing and do the good thing for your body, for your health, for your life, for your children, for everyone around you. And you will be able to live, a good and normal life. And as Queen Violet has said before about the doctors, somebody went to the doctor and told them about their cholesterol medication, how dangerous it is. And the doctor said, yeah, is it that you take it, you're going to die anyhow. Somehow you're going to die. So just go ahead and take it. So those are the mentality that our health profession has towards us right now. You're going to die anyhow. So don't watch what you eat, don't watch what you drink, don't watch, the medication. Go ahead and take it. But, as we know all, if we're from the Caribbean, I am from the Caribbean, and you know well, very, very well, that if you stick to natural stuff and try to eat healthy and stay away from unhealthy stuff, then your body, as Dr. Derek will tell you, you're not going to have any sickness in your body. Okay, the sickness cannot stay in your body because you are not feeding it. So because you're not feeding your body with those bad things and put it into your body, which we call poison. Because like sodas and all those things, we call it poison. When I see my coworkers drinking sodas, say, oh my God, you're putting poison into your body. You tell them these things and they laugh at you. Oh, it tastes good. I like it. I say, yes, I know it tastes good, but I'm not gonna put that into my body. Then you will stay healthy because I will be 62 this year and I am on no medication. I don't go to any doctors. I don't do anything. I just get up and I just run, 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 run. So I am there moving around. Nobody can understand where I get my energy from. But because of the food that you eat, you try to eat as healthy as possible, into this world. So this is my, as Violet does say, 2 cents. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. And then Sister Benny, after you finish with your cybersecurity, oh my God, I'm going to tell you another story on that one. Okay. Later.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much,
much.
Queen Rose.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sister Jackie. Could you please proceed?
Oh, thank you so much, Queen Rose. And you're exactly right. You have to watch what you put in your body. And I know you let them know, but some people, their minds, they're not in the right mindset because of the medication that they have taken. And sometimes they trust their physicians more than God Himself. And so they end up in a
Oh, yes.
devastating situation.
Hmm.
So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. So
Go
the
ahead,
next,
Debbie.
okay, thank you. We have, I will start with Brother Joseph before I can go to, we have people. All right, Brother Joseph, are you available, please?
I am available. Thank you, Dr. Benny.
Thank you, sir. Proceed.
Just to support Sister Jacqueline, um, it does not matter whether we are from what religion. We are all humankind made after God. And all of us, we are made out of the dust. And it is from the dust that all the minerals come out. It is from there we're supposed to get them. And those minerals are not refined when they come out from the dust.
Nope.
So we should take them as we are asked to take them. And when we look at God's word, it tells us that if you love me, keep my laws. And they are all those laws that he has mentioned in his word. I covered my mouth so much during this love week because the word love for me means a different thing. Just as I say, if you tell me, the person who made me say, if you love me, keep my laws, it means love means keeping the laws. It does not mean what we know today. So, going back to what Sister Jacqueline said, I have that belief that anything that lives dies. So, how do we kill anything? Why do we have pain? Why do we have that? Because we go against those laws. And when we go against those laws, we reap the results, the results of it. It is true that not all pain come from the sin that we're supposed to commit, but a lot of it come from that. And as Sister Jacqueline says, that sugar, the artificial sugar, the too much cooking of food, the boiling point of water is 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you boil that up to that boiling point, you are killing everything that you are supposed to be taking. Yeah, we can boil highest up to 165 to maintain what we have. And we should know that the vegetables and the fruits and the nuts and the seeds are those that grow from the ground and take up those minerals that we are made up of. So when we turn back to them, we are nourishing the body. We are making the body to take back its form. Therefore, I don't say go on a diet, and I don't say don't go to your doctor. Work with your doctor. It is your body, it's your choice to make. A lot of people, when we talk this to them, they tell us, it's very difficult. How do you think we can do this? How do you think I can change when I grew with this? Well, it's a decision. It's a decision and it's a choice. That's what I always say. If you think that going to your doctor is better, you can go. But know that even the aspirin, children's aspirin, is a bomb that you are putting into yourself. Because none of those tablets go without side effects. And those side effects are going to add more. We are learning a lot from Dr. Lim. And she says when she has something that is worrying her, she would first of all go holistic before she goes to see what is happening. And she will always advise her clients or patients, please try to live a lifestyle that is healthy. We cannot cheat God. We can only cheat ourselves. When you have a pain in any part of your body, know that that blood which God gave us free of charge is not reaching that area of the body. And if it does not reach there, you have the pain. And when you allow that blood to go right to that place, the pain ends. If you have an inflammation anywhere, the blood has to go there. And the blood is made up of liquids. If you don't drink enough water, 90% of the, let me say 75, 80% of the whole body is water. If you don't drink enough water, you'll not have enough blood. And if you don't have enough liquid that is circulating into your system, your heart will have a big problem. And that's where sometimes we have blood pressure, because the blood that the heart is supposed to be pumping and sending to our system is not there. Let's hydrate our bodies. Let us eat the food. Let us forget about the sweetness, because when you take a mango fruit and you eat it, sometimes people even eat it when it's not yet ripe. Well, because when it becomes too ripe, there is a lot of sugar in it. When you eat it when it is just starting to get ripe, you have just enough sugar for yourself.
Yeah.
Just like you were talking about the bitter leaf, uh, Sister Debbie. I have bitter leaf behind my house because I can't eat without it.
Wow.
I plant it even where I go. I have it. And it is very good. People, when you are already tested that sweetness and we are addicted to it, it's a decision. Do you want to be sick? Okay. If you want to say yes, you stay there. We cannot overemphasize. It's a choice that we have to make. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
you,
Brother
King
Joseph. I'm
Joseph.
so thankful to God I'm not the only one who enjoys, should I put it that way? I'm not the only one who enjoys eating bitter leaf. I cook my turning plantain with no oil, but egusi, because I know I need what comes from egusi, which is pumpkin seeds or flax seeds. I add that to my to my plantain and bitter leaf. And if I have access to ginger, garlic, and shallots from the soil, not the ones that is grown by the Chinese with pea, because the Chinese grown ones with pea is so huge and not healthy. So this one comes from the soil. The ones that come from the soil, you add it to your plantain, your bitter leaf, and all of that. You have your veggie, you have your protein. I don't even want to go naming it, and you're fine. If you can start not having to add too much sugar to, I mean, too much sodium to it, meaning salt, you're good to go. And it fills your soul. But must we live on food? I don't know. Anyway, Brother Joseph, thank you so much. Thank you.
And just to add to our brother who was talking about having sleepless nights or uh, insomnia or something of the sort, most of these things, one, do you have your cell phone next to you? Do you have a laptop in your bedroom? Do you have a TV in your bedroom? What is distracting you that when you go, you don't sleep? I would think that the level, if you are having a sleepless night, you have a level of stress that is disturbing you. And that stress is coupled with some other things that you are keeping, you are always looking at your phone, or you are not resting. Take your mind out of the world, take your mind out of everything that is disturbing you. Forgive everybody who has wronged you, and you bring back your mind to peace, and you will sleep. I think that is the only thing I can do about the sleep. Thank you.
Thank you also. Wow.
Thank you so much, Brother John.
Oh.
All right. Thank you, Brother John. We appreciate you. Thank you for your contribution. I believe my next candidate will be Brother Vitel. Brother Vitel, are you available to proceed?
I'm available. I'm always available, Dr. Benny.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How are you?
I can't complain.
All right.
I'm alive and kicking. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much for inviting me in. And Sister JW, wow. I sat here and I was sucking it in. And I like the amount of time you spend on this sugar. Because I don't think people understand the danger of sugar. We talk about cigarette addiction and all those other addiction, cocaine addiction. Sugar is worse than all of them combined. I had one of the scariest video that I have in my Stay Healthy forum, and it says sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
It is
8 times. And we spend a lot of, when Halloween comes around and I see the kids marching with the parents behind them, I say, oh my God. I mean, and but here's what it says though. It's in a child's brain, sugar is ADHD.
Yep.
In an adult's brain, it's called dementia and Alzheimer's. That's it. Wow. In your eyes, it's called glaucoma. And in your teeth, it's called cavities. These are all sugar-related diseases. In your skin, it's called wrinkles. And in your sleep, it's called insomnia. That's that gentleman he said he can't sleep. That's maybe he's consuming too much sugar. In your blood, it's called diabetes. And too much sugar in your system, you know what that's called? Cancer.
Yep.
It's called cancer. And in your snack and food industry is called a $1 billion industry. That's it. That's the reason why, you know, nobody's doing anything about it, because it's a $1 billion industry designed to poison us, and nobody's is doing anything or saying anything about it. That's why they have this big fight against the cigarette, the tobacco industry, and they have all these lawsuits. Oh man, you know, Big Sugar is spreading their dollars around, and nothing is happening. So if we don't take it into our own hands, I mean, nobody's going to help us. And so we have to understand that, you know, I give my story, you know, when we're talking about cancer recently in Dr. Emma's forum, and about going to the cancer center and see what's going on there. You know, I've been in there. I sat there when my wife was undergoing treatment for multiple myeloma. I sat there and I watched people walking, eating Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And the nurse and the doctors, they have nothing to say about it. I sat there and I watched people walking with a 24 ounce of Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, and the doctor said nothing about it. And I'm there shaking my head like a bubblehead doll, and I said, man, you know, this is what it comes down to. So if you don't take care of yourself, nobody's going to do it for you, because the sugar industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and designed to just rake in the money and inflict harm and dangers on us. And we have to really understand, you know, what you were talking about and take heed. Because if we are going to lift up humanity and make this world a better place, we better take care of ourselves first. We better take care of ourselves first, because nobody, absolutely nobody, is going to do it for you. I mean, charity begins right here at home and in your own body. And I thank you very much for the length of time you spent talking about, and especially sugar. And I want everybody to know, Arisa, I just put a YouTube video in the forum just now, for everybody to understand, you know, what you were talking about and how dangerous this sugar is, and how we have to understand it and try to avoid it, because the government is not going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Thank you for the presentation, and job well done, JW. Back to you, Dr.
Thank
Ben.
you so much, King Vitel. Thank you for your backup regarding the sugar and how dangerous it is. It's really dangerous, and we have to do something about it for ourselves and for our family and for our friends that's surrounds us. So when we change, everyone else will change also. And that's a good side effect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
Dr. Benny, before you proceed, I just want to make a comment from Brother Vital's comment. Thank you, Queen JW. Dr. Benny, thanks for giving me a chance to interrupt the flow. Based on what I heard from Brother Vital and what Dr. Lam told me, and why she decided to go into addiction specialization of medicine, is because of so many things. Several things. One of them is you walk into a restaurant, like what you're talking about. You have somebody having an 18-ounce to the 3-ounce of Pepsi, you know how much sugar is involved in it. You cannot walk over to that person and tell them, do not take this because it is unhealthy. You do not know what that person is going through from the home where they came from. They are trying to adjust to some aspects of their lives. Something led them to that level. And then she reminded me, have you heard of a show called My 600-Pound Life? And I had a reflection and I Googled it. People have traumas that leads them to certain aspects of life. People have issues. Either it's hereditary, it skips a generation and then it goes to the next generation. There's so many things out there, a variety of them, that cannot just be addressed by one thing of eating healthy. It starts from, when did I discover that I had this addiction to sugar? How did I
1, 2,
discover
3, 4,
what
5. Maybe
was my first exposure to it? How did I react to it? It is not something that happens overnight. It is not something that comes from birth, because children start from what we feed them. I breastfed both my kids, and they did not want to stop breastfeeding. And when they come to me now, they want to talk about anything. I say, by the way, you were in my. I gave you free room and board for 9 months. Free room and board, 9 months. You didn't pay for anything that you were eating, where you were living. And they were going crazy, say, no doubt we talk like you. I said, why? Yeah, you had free room and board. Did you pay to eat what I was feeding you when I was pregnant? No.
Oh,
And I said, by the way, I didn't even go shopping for you because you were naturally clothed. So what I'm trying to say is everything that we do in our bodies, it's natural. We have to enhance it. And our loved ones have to be educated. Why should they have to be educated? Because some of them do not know. When we say these, we should always go back and look. These people that we're talking about, our age mates, our group mates, our neighbors, people that we socialize with, some of them have issues, traumas in their individual families that we did not experience. Let us help elevate them, educate them as we move along. We should not leave them behind. They may not be aware. My One of my siblings was telling me, actually a couple of minutes before I joined this evening, that, oh, I'm no longer taking the sugar. I'm no longer this. I'm taking sucrase, whatever the name she was calling it. And I was just laughing at. And then
it's
I said,
worse than
I have
sugar.
to pass it to your daughter, who is not home and will be home by the time I'm sleeping. They said, oh no, she would think it's okay because it's a doctor who told me I can take it. So I said, send me whatever you're taking. She sent it to me and I sent it to her niece. And he said, when I have a break, I'll let you know. During her break, she said, no, 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 capital no. And then she said it in the dialect, ngang, 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 to her aunt. He said, Mama, I've said it all. If I say that, it means I mean it 100 times 100%. So my point is, you cannot just expect a physician to come out and just tell you no. There are they have certain rules they go by. Depending on who they are addressing, they cannot just outrightly in public say anything. People have their lives, they have certain things, regardless of what they say, you have to say it. They have to do it. My younger brother has 3 children. The oldest one was with me last week celebrating her birthday. I know she has an issue. We were trying to resolve it. I brought it to her attention. But you know what? When they got to the airport before they came to their house, they had 2 meals. I said, why is it taking you 2 hours for a 20-minute ride to get here? They said, oh, we just stopped to do some errands, this and that. Because they know who I am, they know whatever we advocate. So I didn't say anything. I said, okay, whenever you get here, blah, 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 blah. 2 days later, I learned from the 8-year-old who was traveling with them, they stopped twice to eat because they knew when they get home what my rules are in my house. The portions I give you, that's what you eat, and that's where you stay. And this is what we're having for lunch. This is what we're having for dinner. And this is blah, 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 blah. So you say, Grandma, we stopped here. We had this. We stopped here. We had this. We stopped here. We had this. Then when they came home, they ate the portions that I normally give them. And I was wondering, I said, something is not right. This baby told me afterwards. So my point is, when it is the mindset of the person. Physicians have nothing to do with it. It is the mindset of that individual. Just as I experience it in my family, both young and old, and I'm sure we all have. So I just wanted to add this, and I'm sorry I'm sure there's so many hands up there. Dr. Benny, I am so sorry. I just had to bring this up because talking about the colorful green, red, yellow, black, whatever raw foods we eat, not everyone has that mindset, has that stamina that way to be able to discipline themselves. That self-discipline is not in everyone's DNA.
Could I follow up on that? Could I follow up on that?
Certainly.
Yes. Queen Debbie, it's not that each individual is responsible for their own behavior, but it's when you get into the medical profession, is what the doctors, is what the hospital may encourage. Because when I see they are in a cancer treatment facility that they have a big bowl of candy hanging out there, why? I mean, I can see somebody walk inside there with eating Dunkin' Donuts, but why would you put some fruits there instead of candies? I just don't understand that. I once said to a doctor in a cancer treatment center, and he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, Doc, most of the time when people die from cancer, it's not the cancer that killed them, it's the chemotherapy that killed them. Because it's a $1 billion industry, that too. They don't want you to get well. I mean, and I think they when I see them finish the treatment, and they ring a bell, you going out. And I could see them, you could see their eyes, they look like they're just on the verge of dying, and they're feeding them. They're encouraging them to take this sugar. And I understand that sometimes they don't know better, but why do they encourage it though? If they don't have it there, they would never eat it. And so that's my qualms against them, because I think the word cure is no longer a part of the medical profession. You know what I mean? It's all about treatment. They're not going to cure anything because there's no money in curing. That's it. You got to have a repeat business. You keep coming back, and that's my problem. And I say that to my doctor. I say, nobody's going to force me to take Lipitor if I don't want to take it. It's not going to go in my body. I don't care what you say. You know what I mean? I take my chances. Have you ever read the side effects and all of that stuff, Doc? No, it's good for you. Good for you. And I'm going to take it. So, I still think education is necessary for people. And, they just, we have to understand that if we don't educate ourselves and understand what is going on, and that is the almighty dollar that rules, that's it. Nobody cares about you. If you don't care about yourself, that's it. Thank you, Dr. Benny.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Victor, just to add 1 minute, I'm sorry I'm jumping
It's
in there.
that's fine. Go ahead.
Just to add to that, we have to start it with ourselves who are following this training here, which is free. Let's try to keep away from all of those cookies and the chips and so forth that have all those poisons that we are taking. We have to initiate it and start it with ourselves. And in many occasions, as you said, that there's no. I've asked many doctors. Unfortunately, I was working in the area, and I asked so many of them from the day you left school, medical school, till now, whether you have been working for 30, 40 years, can you bring out one single person that you cured? Not even one. Because the body heals itself. That is a machine that God made and put in it, that it heals itself. No tablet heals anybody. It either disturbs the natural functioning of the body, or it numbs it and disconnects its functionality.
Yep.
As I said, I am not discouraging people from going to see their doctors.
No.
Work with your doctor. But know that there is no tablet, especially the high blood pressures that they say, you still die of heart problems. You still have a stroke. You still go ahead with all those things. Not even like Mr. Vittel said, I worked in the cancer center. I prepared all of those chemos. I did. And I took up my scrubs one day and dropped them inside that center and left when I prepared chemo for a 28-year girl. And that girl coded. I told them I come here to help people and not to kill people.
Wow.
I left the medical field and went into holistic.
Wow.
So this that we are doing here, we will never do it anywhere because the education system of our nations,
It's not to teach you that.
it is just to support that they exploit us and kill us and just squeeze out, take all the liquid from us. But if you meet a good doctor who wants to actually advise you and work with you, you will actually get what you need. But there is no medication more than the natural food that we eat. No processed food. Or everything, I think everything, nearly everything that is sold on the counters is processed.
Yep.
I think so. Nearly everything that is sold on the counters is processed, if they are not vegetables and so forth. So when you go to buy those, ask yourself, when you leave from here, I come from Cameroon. When I leave from here and I go into a grocery store and see all the vegetable oils, and I leave and go back to the village in Cameroon, a village, you go into a small store there, you find the same vegetable oil. Ask yourself, what quantity do they supply that? You go to London, you have it. You go to Bangladesh, you have it. You go to Cameroon, you have it. You go to the islands, you have it. There is something you must ask ask yourself. Can you make your own oil? It's very easy to do it. There are 3 oils that I'll give you people. 1, coconut oil. 2, palm oil. 3, olive oil. These 3. Olive oil, if it is cold pressed, I know there are very few processed coconut oils, and there are very, very few processed palm oil. At first, when you talk of palm oil to a doctor here, it says it gives you cholesterol. That is not a fact. So it is expensive to get it, but it is nourishing your body. So let us stick to food. Food is our medicine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, King David, King Joseph. Oh my gosh. You couldn't have said it better. Stick to the food. Food is the foundation. If the food you put in your mouth is not foundated, then you know that you're not eating the right food. So please try to eat God food. That's all I can say.
During the COVID period, it's a story. During the COVID period, I had a friend of mine who lives in Maryland. He had COVID. The wife took all the children and left him in the house because she didn't want all of them to get it. And good enough, they called me and told me, oh, he is in the house. We don't know whether he will survive. He is having shortness of breath. I tried and called him, and he answered the phone. I told him to call his wife and let the wife call me. She did. Why did I tell him to take onion? Just take onion.
Yep.
Squeeze the water, squeeze the liquid out of the onion. If you can have a teaspoon of it, drink it. I did not go to a pharmacy. I didn't go for chemicals. We use the same products that we have in our kitchen.
Yeah.
And it solved that young man's problem because within 30 minutes, he called me and told me he was breathing. So these are small things in our kitchen. We learn them to put them in practice. Let us look into the food. I am not one person who gives diets to people. Take the natural food and know what you are putting into your system. And they work very well. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you again, King Joseph. Appreciate you.
Brother Joseph, I'm not lying. This is really educative. I really appreciate your I don't know, we are not paying for this. We really need to thank Mr. Ash Mafara for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Vitel. Thank
And
you.
just one more, Dr. Benny.
Go proceed.
So just a 2 sentence. Let your food be your medicine. If your medicine becomes your food, then you're in trouble. That's it. Let your
Yeah, big
food
trouble.
be your medicine. Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Vitel. Queen Jackie,
Yes.
I have one of my sisters who told me that avocado oil, that no, especially like vegetable. Is there any vegetable that you can squeeze and then there will be oil? That there is no
Don't make me
vegetable oil.
don't make me don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Nope, there's no vegetable. Leave those vegetable oils on the shelf.
God.
Corn oil, leave it on the shelf.
No corn oil? So that means if I squeeze the corn, there will be no oil. Sorry.
You ain't gonna get no oil.
Okay.
Dr. Ben,
But that's how
always,
they have manipulated us.
you're always giving jokes, Dr. Ben.
No. This is important. We're learning. Hey, God. Thank you. Sister
Avocado
Janet.
is a healthy fat. It is a healthy fat now. Avocado is a healthy fat. And we do need some fat, but we just need healthy fat, not bad fats.
So then how come we have avocado oil? I see
Okay.
it.
Who? Alberto?
Whatever they call it.
I don't know Alberto, and I don't know if he carry oil.
Okay.
Dr. Benny,
It's like
Dr.
pear.
Benny, Dr.
Yes?
Benny,
Yes, sir.
you know coconut,
I know coconut.
you know palm nut,
Yes, palm nut. I do.
you know olives.
Yes.
Good. When you squeeze them, do you have oil?
Yes.
Good. So those ones that you know that it's difficult to get oil from them, keep them out of reach because they are
Exactly.
all refined. And it is color, most of them, there is color in it for you to get what you are getting.
Do you know that I was drinking every day I drink a little bit of avocado oil? So from tomorrow I will not drink it.
You should drink olive oil.
Well, you can eat avocado. What do you do? If you take you know the Hass avocado, that's the small one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you get one of it in the morning and you eat it, you stay up to 3 o'clock, never be hungry.
Hey, Papa. Check that small thing.
Try it. I am not asking, try it. Try it the first day, the second day, before the third day, you will not want to change because that is the normal oil that you need to feed your body with.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
And they have organic and they have non-organic.
Yeah.
So you have to make a choice. Unless you get it from your garden, it's a whole different story.
Oh, all right. Sister Janet, I know that you raised your hands up. Do you have anything to say or any comment, please?
I don't hear her.
Does anyone have any more comments? If not, we will be going to after party. But before we go to the after party, I want to take this moment to thank Queen Jacqueline Warner. But before I thank you, I want to say at this special moment, I want to take this moment to thank God for bringing all of us together this evening, this morning, this afternoon. I also want to thank him for sending somebody so important to all of us, a special individual who is our visionary. Our visionary made that statement that either I do or I die. We had a meeting today. He said the same thing. as you all know that tomorrow you guys should attend the run meeting. I believe it's 9 p.m. tomorrow, so that you can hear more updates from our CEO. If you guys have the time, please. Anyway, our CEO is here to correct corruption, eradicate poverty, and to uplift humanity. I want every day, if you guys have the time, even for 1 minute, let's pray for our Heavenly Father to protect our CEO and his entire dream team, as well as his family. The reason is because he is facing a lot of challenges, but he loves it, and he has hired more PhDs to come and do research for artificial intelligence and the rest. Again, you guys know that um, they have they are working on this our O Connect. He has given everything to the quality assurance. The quality assurance is going to do his or her work, and from there they will send it back to our CEO to say, oh, everything is perfect before they commercialize our product. Thank you so much again. It's about time for us to just sit and smile. Time is coming, my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings. We all love Mr. Ashma Farrell, but most importantly, we love our Heavenly Father. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Queen Debbie, Dr. Benny.
I would say Queen Jacqueline Warner, I would say extraordinary mindset. Thank you so much. To tell the truth, we are really learning. I hope you guys are listening to this, our brothers, Brother Vitel, Brother Joseph, our Queen Jackie, because this type of thing, do you know that if you attend a class, you will spend a lot of money. I am really learning. And I think as from tomorrow, no more avocado oil. I wouldn't take it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hopefully next week you'll bring more. Come and teach us more.
Yes, I have a couple more. Yes.
I appreciate this. Does anyone have any more questions, please? Dr. Patience Ajongwe, are you here? Brother Alfred Che, are you available? Brother Mumudu, Queen Dr. T. Ford, do you guys have anything to say? Any comments? If not, I'm going to hand it over to Dr.
No, I'm just getting everything in. Sorry, I'm behind the camera because there's a lot going behind the camera. But Queen JW, I had all of you guys, Brother Joseph, all the contribution. I've been here from the beginning. Basically, we are what we eat. We are what we eat. There's a saying that we take the first 40 odd years and destroy ourselves, and we'll try to take the next 40 to fix it. But I think if we start teaching our kids from the beginning,
the super thing.
It will you
can spray that.
It will be a different thing. I think Sister Debbie was talking about we grew up with not this ice cream or these cakes. That's not how we grew up. We grew up with fruits. My kids, when they came here, they go to school with fruits. That's their snacks. Will be fruits, apple, oranges. I'll cut it up when they were younger. I'll make my own puree myself. We're really what we eat. But what is happening is that sometimes we get into the huff and bumps and the business and the distraction of the day-to-day life, and we don't find time to really nourish our body. That's the truth, right? We just have people running heter scatter. Like recently, I'm just all over the place, heter scatters. You don't even have time to drink water. You don't have time to sit and eat meal. You find yourself on the road. So it can be challenging. We understand, but if we start taking, I think Dr. Derek will say, if you pay insurance to your car, or is it Dr. John? Why can't you put insurance for your health? And maybe we'll have to start taking a backseat, take a break, and So this I need this time for myself, but I can understand because I go through that spell in my life
You
too,
got it out right there.
with work that you really don't find the time. I hope you people can hear me because somebody's keep talking over me.
Yes, please.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me,
can hear.
Queen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So during the boss and boss, we're just running. We don't even have time to even say, God, take control, no? We tend to say, okay, I'm taking control. You find yourself running here, running there, dropping here, back. Just that business, we don't find time for ourselves. But what this platform is doing, JW, Dr. T, and we have Sister Debbie sometime, but Sister Larato, Julie Pierre, all of those motivational mindset speakers, we really love you guys. Because you force us to take a back step sometime and say, okay, what can I do different? What do I need to do different? We know some of us know all of these things. As I said, we don't have time. But reminding us, saying this over and over again, it resonate, and you start thinking, what is life without good health? What is really life without good health? What is life if you cannot even walk 2 steps? What is life if you cannot breathe properly? What is life if all your joints are hurting because our whole body is inflamed? So
Yes.
maybe it is time for us to really reflect. We all want to see our children, for those that have kids to the fourth generation, but we don't want to see it getting up every day. We're having aches all over our body because our body is all inflamed. So thank you all for the teaching. I
You.
I didn't have a sweet tooth. I never used to eat dessert, but as I think when Debbie said it, and it's towards the older, towards my in my 40s that I started getting exposed to all these cakes and sugar, and I'm trying to really hope that I'm not addicted to sugar. I'm not getting sugar craving right now. Yes, I love my bitter leaf, so I eat from bitter to sweet. But Queen JW and dark chocolate, if you have the right one, is good for you. Go and look at the benefit. We have to be that 99% cocoa. It's actually bitter. If you have the right
Yes.
dark chocolate, it is bitter. Trust me. You cannot even take 2 bites if you really get the right one. So
One
anything
bite.
bitter is good for you.
And in
But
Exactly.
Cameroon to add anti-P, that's mambo.
yes, so anything bitter is
Mambo
good for
chocolate.
you. There's some mango seeds that we call it egbono. Very good for you too. Very medicinal. We cook it and eat it. But you all said it. We have to train our palate.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
the good thing is that when we start having the means, we have to start finding a way to go to schools and start teaching this thing from birth, so our palates are trained the right way. Because if your palate is trained for sweet, you will not be able to eat bitter things. They've messed us up because they know sugar items are addictive. So we can come and buy the pharmaceutical, it's a catch 22. We have to start going into preventive move and start teaching our children. As one grandma, one of my aunties, she's a grandma, and the way she learned proper eating in her older age, she went and learned it. She went to one of these centers, and now she's teaching her grandkids. They're eating differently. They eat their fruits 30 minutes before food. They drink their water 31 hours before they eat. During eating, you can only sip and then drink 1 hour or so after you eat. So from that young age, they already been trained how to eat properly, how to mix their food. You don't eat fruits with your meals. You eat your fruit before your meal. You wait like 30 minutes. You don't drink water during eating. You sip if you really have to. You drink your water before, you wait, or hours after. And I saw those 2 kids, 4 years, 5 years old, and the way
Wow.
they were doing
Amazing.
it. And I was sitting here, they came and visited me, and I was just like lost because they were taught right. The grandma was there to say, look, I did it wrong with your parents, but we'll get to get it right with you
Wow.
guys. And they are getting it right. I think this is a time for us to get involved in our nieces' life. You have nieces, grandchildren's life. and neighbors, kids, anybody, children you're exposed to, start giving them this right education right now, because it's difficult to change when you're older. You have to really purposely want to. But when it is second nature, then we'll solve some of this obesity and problems we're facing. Thank you all for the great work you do all the time. Thank you, Queen JW. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank all of you for the research for us to have optimal health. And then for security, thank you, First Lady, for always making us to make sure that we can keep our accounts secured. I love you all. Sorry, I'm like behind the scene today. Just a lot going on, but I could not miss this. I've been here from the beginning, so they you need to win it, but more in a quiet note. But trust me, I cannot miss learning how to take care of our health. I was one of those optimal health people, and COVID came. I'm not giving an excuse, and something happened to my brain, and I have to reset it back. That's the truth. I have to reset it, and I'm working on doing that. Because of all this inspirational talk, I'm resetting my brain to be what it was before. Thank you, and remain blessed.
This is Dr. T. This is Dr. T. How's everybody doing? Dr.
We
T?
cool.
Okay, you cool. Okay. I'm behind the scenes too. I'm working on a project as we're talking, so I apologize. I'm off camera today. But thank you so much, Queen W, for JW, for your I won't even say so much inspiration, but just transformational, informational message. And I agree with you, Dr. Patience. We have to start with our youth, because it looks like each generation, it's like the lifespan gets shorter and shorter because of how our children are eating. And like you said, the biggest culprit is the sugar, and just not and eating all the bad carbs. That's the issue too. I know that Queen JW probably teach on that too, but eating processed foods and all the bad carbohydrates that turn into sugar.
Yeah.
So those are areas that we really need to watch, because obesity is taking over America. More people are getting diabetes than ever before. It's just high blood pressure. It's just running rapid. So we have to take care of our health, because if we want to live like everybody's been saying, if you want to live long enough to enjoy your money, then you must take care of the biggest asset that you have, and that's your health. So I really do appreciate you, Queen JW, and everybody on the panel. God bless you all, and have a wonderfully blessed evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you so much. We appreciate you too.
Thank you.
And have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patience. We appreciate you. Dr. Jungwe, thank you. Dr. Ford, we appreciate you all. I know you guys are busy.
You're mute.
I want to give you this book for
Yeah, I'm fine.
roadmap that you can use to start a legitimate.
All right. Thank you so much. Brother Mamudu, are you available, please?
Oh, yes, my beloved Queen, I am available. First of
Proceed, Papa.
although I'm busy, but I just want to appreciate my Queen JW for her outstanding presentation. Oh my goodness. It makes us what we've been doing to keep doing it more. As for me, I don't think for all these 17 years I've been in America, I've gone to any fast food store. I live in home cooked food. But I just want to know, because I've been hearing the word MSG, MSG. I don't know what MSGs are, what ingredients that make up MSGs. Although I don't go to fast food stores, but if I know what MSGs, I will take my time to look at the ingredients they prepare at home to see if there are any of those MSG ingredients. So I just want you to just give me examples of MSGs, please. And thank you all the contributors, Let's keep up the flame burning. You know, thank you very much.
It's monoxide glutamate sodium. So it looks like the accent that you put. They used to use it for tenderizer. It's white. It looks like salt, but it's very fine. And that's the MSG. But they mixed it into foods like McDonald's, fish fillet, all those fast foods. They use it, even restaurants. They put it in the foods. That way, it makes the food taste more better, and it's almost like an addiction to keep you coming back to eat that food.
Oh,
Do you
So
know
it's
okay.
a
Maggie?
flavor enhancer,
Do you know
but
Maggie?
it's
Yes,
toxic.
Good.
yes.
That is a very good example of MSG.
Oh, okay. Because Maggie, we eat that a lot back home and here. So I didn't know Maggie is one of those MSGs. Mm.
And it's, you must but try to avoid it or take it out of your, you have to read every label. Is reading the we have to become label readers. I know people say like they don't have time, their schedule is very busy, they get in the supermarket, they throw some stuff in, get to the cash register, shopping done. But is shopping really done? Because it's what you have in your cart is going to decide when you take it into your home if that food is healthy. But you need to know if it's healthy before you put it into your cart and take it to your house. So don't spend your hard-earned money on toxins, because that's all you're doing, and you're hurting yourself and your family. So MSG is
Okay.
to be avoided.
So like I mean, thyme, curry, black pepper are all part of MSGs.
They have it in seasons. It's everywhere,
Okay.
but it's not good. It all
Uh,
Oh,
the,
leads to
the thing in it is that they use it to mix up with the different spices that we are supposed to put
yes,
in
they do.
our food.
mm,
It's not that if you have the spice, if you buy your cayenne pepper and grind it and put in your container and you use it, nobody will
mhm.
tell you anything about it. If you
Okay.
if you buy if you buy your garden egg and you grind it and you put it in your bottle or whatever, you will use it. But when you go, that's why I say everything that is on the counter in the grocery stores,
Stay
everybody
away
wants to
from.
make money, right?
Oh yes.
Good.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. My resident is calling me. And thank you. God bless you. Let me go see
God
them
bless you.
quickly.
Also, thank you for your comment.
You're
Appreciate you
welcome.
always.
All right. Thank you, Brother Mamudu. We appreciate you. I am going to hand this over to Queen Debbie. Are you available? All right. I believe at this moment, Dr. Derek, are you available?
Don't make me laugh.
Hey, you are shy. I never knew. Queen JW. Wow. I thought only 15 years old ladies are shy, girls. Thank you so much. Anyway, I really appreciate each and everyone. Um, at this moment, I cannot hear from Dr. Derek. Queen Debbie,
At
you're
the
not here.
party.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
All right, Queen
Oh,
Debbie, do your work.
okay.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Brother Mamadou, Queen JW, Dr. T, Dr. Benny, Brother Vital, Brother Joseph, Queen Rosanna, Queen Violet, everyone who has spoken. We're so honored and blessed to have you tonight. At this time, I'm going to say we're going to close our YouTube channel and say thank you to all our viewers who signed in to listen to us. We appreciate you, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you every Tuesday and every Thursday on this platform. Dr. Derek, if you are available, we're going to close the YouTube channel and move and start now with our after party, which will be programmed by and run by Queen Dr. Nadu if she's in the house. If not, it will be Dr. Benny and anyone else who is available. But before we go, I'll have to say, Dr. Benny, we appreciate you for your awesome Tuesday presentations. Queen JW, we appreciate you for your awesome, healthy Thursday presentations. Brother Vital, Brother Joseph, we appreciate you for your input on healthy eating as well. And if Dr. Lam was here, I'll say I thank her for reminding us of what we should and should not do to stay healthy. And in the interim, I'll say, Dr. Derek, thank you so much for giving us the platform so we can help and we can help educate and help one another to move forward to the next level of our lives through sharing with one another. And we appreciate all our national, international, and local viewers and supporters. So we are starting the after party now. And Dr. Derek, over to you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Benny.
Hello, Dr. Devi.
Welcome, Dr. Nadu. Thank you, Dr. Nadu.
Thank you to our kid. We gotta continue with more kids. We still celebrating love. So let's go.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Oh, thank you, Queen Dr. Nadu. Thank you.
You're welcome.